Hello, I am back with another video. Just wanted to talk about the subconscious mind, really. You might have heard that our mind is a bit like an iceberg. So we've got the conscious part of our mind, which you can see on the surface. But our subconscious mind, in fact, it's far bigger and it goes far beyond the depths of what we can consciously see. And our subconscious is where our identity is. It's where our beliefs are and the stories that we tell ourselves, the narratives of who we believe that I am to be. And it also runs our behaviours and habits. And when you were younger, you more or less operated from the subconscious like 90% of the time. But obviously, as you developed through your life, through into teenage years, you became more conscious. But our subconscious programs, things that were installed right at that age when everything was getting imprinted onto us, is our identity, our beliefs, our stories, our behaviours and our habits. And these are basically like a computer program. These run our lives, who we believe we are, what we tell ourselves about who we are, about our mindset, about our capabilities, about what where we're from, what we can do, what our intelligence is like. These all lead to our behaviours and our habits, those things that we do repeatedly. They all come from the subconscious mind because, for example, have you ever had a habit that you didn't want to do? And if you were consciously in control of it, you just stop the habit. But you can't because the subconscious mind runs it. So in order to make any change in our life, and this is where we create our own reality, is to get into the subconscious. And I talked yesterday about the subconscious mind techniques to get into the subconscious. And just to talk a little bit more about the subconscious is literal, it is accepting, and it is automatic. So it's literal, accepting, and automatic. That means that whatever we put in there, it's just going to go, okay, sure, whatever that is. So where we focus our attention, if we say, oh, I'm never going to get there, the subconscious mind will go, okay, yeah, sure. And, that will become our reality. So the two things that we have control over are our mind and our speech. And the mind and speech are basically what we say to ourselves, in our minds, how we view things, and the language that we use. So even though our subconscious is literal, it's accepting, it's automatic, and it runs all of these identity, beliefs, stories and behaviours and habits, once we become consciously aware that our subconscious mind is running the show, we can start to consciously feed down new beliefs, new stories, new behaviours, new habits through the subconscious mind techniques that I talked about, through setting an intention, through affirming to the subconscious. We're telling our subconscious that this is the way that it is now. And the subconscious mind lives in the now, and it doesn't matter what has come before or, the past or the future. It lives completely in the now, so it's accepting. It also thinks in pictures. So when you imagine something, you're tapping into your subconscious mind. There's been some really amazing studies of basketball players that just visualized making shots. Like they just sat there, they didn't do any basketball practice, they just sat there and imagined like making the basketball shot in their mind, and they performed better than people that didn't do anything because they were giving instructions to their subconscious. There's been lots of different studies like that. I think I mentioned the work of Dr. David Hamilton, but there's lots of teachers that talk about the subconscious and how we can feed in new identity, new beliefs, new stories, new habits and behaviours. And so how we see things in our mind affects everything. So if we've got a subconscious story going on about ourselves, a subconscious belief maybe, that might be, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this. This isn't something that you consciously think, by the way. It might be a subconscious thing. that's been programmed by society, the media, your family, your teacher at school, could be anybody. But these programs, once they're imprinted, and that is why the ages of 0 to 8 or 9 or even 10 are so critical for the shaping of these things, they just run. But we can get in control of them, and we can start to harness the subconscious mind to produce the results we want. And because we've got our memory, that means we can sometimes stay in the realm of the subconscious, because the subconscious will just keep on repeating things that it's always done. It's always been like this. Well, I've always had that habit. I've always thought that way about money, or I've always, been able to do that particular thing. I'll never get past that limit. So our subconscious mind puts on these limits as well. But really, our subconscious mind is limitless. The formless mind is the realm of the I am, and we can go into this realm through sleep, through deep relaxation. And when we're going from our conscious, busy working day, and we're slowing down and we're getting sleepy and we're ready for bed, this is when we're drifting into the subconscious. And you might notice that when you're falling asleep, your mind starts to make pictures. And you can start to create feelings, because that's another thing about the subconscious. It works on feeling. Any feelings, any emotions that you have throughout your life will impress themselves on the subconscious mind. But again, consciously, you can impress feelings on your subconscious mind. You can impress feelings of well-being, health, accomplishment, joy, gratitude. What happens when you try and imprint them consciously? Your conscious mind steps in and says, hang on a minute, that's not my reality. And it's the doubting, it's the overthinking, it's the limited realm. It's not your whole mind. And that's a really important thing to remember, is this conscious mind, when you step in with your rational mind and you think things logically, that's not your whole mind. It's only part of your mind. Your entirety is, I believe it's infinite and limitless. And many other teachers as well do. So we can then give instructions to our subconscious that has no limits, that says, okay, well, if I go into this realm of possibility, this realm of limitlessness, what can I create from here? If I'm always in the infinite now, and the way that I'm perceiving reality and things happening in my reality as a result of these, which is just my computer program, I can then tap into this by impressing it with feeling, which is why Neville talked about the feeling is the secret, because the feeling impresses emotionally into the subconscious mind, which is stored in the body. So I'm sure if you go back, if I ask you now to remember one of the best memories of your life, something that you were just absolutely full of joy, happiness, you were just having an amazing time, something was so incredible, maybe you felt so much gratitude, appreciation, you're going back into your subconscious, because your subconscious is the storehouse of everything that you've ever done in your life. And you probably feel that feeling again, and maybe even pictures come to mind. So this will all imprint upon our identity, our beliefs, our stories, our behaviours and habits. But we can consciously get in control of that by the stories we tell ourselves. So we have control over our inner speech. It might not feel like it at times, but we can continually drip feed down into the subconscious mind to then generate new beliefs, which will then spring back up automatically into the conscious mind. So if you are learning anything new, it always feels really difficult in the beginning, but by a constant practice, you start to build a momentum, and then your momentum starts to then become your new story, your new belief, your new identity. Might be, I am a person that goes to the gym, and maybe you didn't really go to the gym very often. But by doing that and actually taking action, of course, you're impressing your subconscious with a new behaviour and a new habit. And you can use your subconscious mind to further propel you in the direction of where you want to go. It's all about where you place your focus. Your mind and speech can just be on autopilot, or you can take conscious control.